Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome back to MotoGP 24. Yes, we return today with the season opener of our fully fledged Moto3 season. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live yesterday, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Of course, we confirmed that we could have moved up the order if we wanted to, but I'll be honest, I don't feel quite confident already yet to try and make the move up the grid. So we're going to be staying with the Moto3 throughout the entirety, hopefully, of this first season, unless, of course, I get sacked before the season is down and out. Of course, the first round takes us to the Qatar Lusail circuit, which, of course, now from the F1 games, we do actually know quite well. Taking a look at what some of the other some of the other riders are saying. Holgado says he's pretty happy that we're in the team with him as well there. Detweiler, the season is over. We've had fun. Next year we'll hopefully get a few more results in. Do we start causing beef? I don't actually think we can at the moment, which is a little bit of a shame. There we go. So Holgado, I think we'll try and stay on his good side early on. I wonder if the riders actually race you more aggressively if you've got beef with them. But yeah, returning to Qatar this weekend. Of course, if you're new around here, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and yeah, let's do this thing.
Well, welcome to the Lusail International Circuit. We're live from Qatar, where a new and exciting weekend of motorsport is about to begin.
Free practice will start shortly, and the Moto3 riders will use this session to test their bikes and get a bit more familiar with the track. The weather forecast is for clear weather throughout the weekend, the only unknown factor being the desert wind, which could blow sand onto the track and reduce grip.
Must admit, it's going to be very, very weird because I think the Moto3 Qatar race is actually done in the daylight. And with the exception of free practice 1 in Formula 1, I never tend to see the Lusail circuit under the sun as well. So this is kind of also giving us a good idea of what this track should look like inside F1 24. Of course, MotoGP have been coming here for years. So they've had a bit of time down at Milestone to try and get this track perfected. It's going to take me a little bit more time to get it nailed down as well. Because again, where I don't have that much experience on this track, we might struggle. I'm going to leave the races as well in this series still at 35% for the moment, just because I feel like it provides a good length for the videos. But maybe when we move up to Moto2 and MotoGP, obviously depending on how long the races are, we might bump them up to 50%. Just a bit of fun, as yeah, I thought that corner is going to be horrible. Very, very quick change of direction. You've got to just be so smooth with it. You know, you've really got to come off the throttle, get onto the brakes, and then steer the car. Steer the bike even into the corners. I hate to think how many mistakes I've done saying that. The problem's been live commentating, ladies and gents. First lap on the board at 2:14.4. I say, once again, obviously because we did quite well in the last race, I have upped the AI ever so slightly more. We are probably, I'm sure, at some point going to reach a limit as to what I can do with them. But yeah, that was pretty good. I tell you what, yeah, these corners, definitely a lot more satisfying in a Formula 1 car where they're nearly flat out, although they do provide a unique challenge on a motorbike as well there, as you try not to drop them off of the outside curbing. I mean, you're just so close when you lean in to that curb on the inside there, and especially with how aggressive the curbs are actually around this Lusail circuit. Maybe that's quite a scary thing to be doing on a motorbike where there's literally inches separating you from the ground. But out of the final corner once again then, we're going to see another nice improvement down into the low 2-minute 12s. But you can see, yeah, top time at the moment of 1:11.3. So we've got a little bit more time to find. We go then taking a look at the end of free practice. Tayo Furusato there, top of the board on that 2:11 flat. A lot of times though very, very closely bunched up. We end up P14 at the end of that first session. They're ahead of Rossi. I can't wait to get the clickbait in on that one. But yeah, scrolling further and further down, we might just be able to sneak straight into Q2 here, but we need another good lap time at the end of final free practice. It's a weird format, but I am slowly getting used to it. Heading back out then in free practice 3, I'm going to try and make sure we get just a decent top 10 time, I guess. If we can get down in towards kind of the mid to low 11s, then hopefully that is going to be enough. I've also opted now for the soft compounded tyre. They are quicker, but they do not provide much grip for very long, as apparently everyone and their gran again have made their way out onto the circuit just as I start my qualifying lap. Now I kind of have a basic understanding and feel for what the bike's doing underneath me a lot more. I feel like I am able to start being a bit more consistent and start extracting more time out of it. It is just one of those things where it is such a different experience. You know, you've really got to move around a venue so differently to what I'm used to. It does take a little bit of time for your brain to kind of adjust. I hope now I don't go back on, say, a rally game and immediately trying to lean into every corner, because I don't think it's going to help much there. Got a bit of a traffic paradise though as we make our way down in towards the final couple of corners, so hopefully, if anything, they're going to provide me with a little bit of slipstream leaning on that outside curve as best as we can. But now the meat in a sandwich, able to get on the brakes quite late. Please don't barge me off. Always so scared that the AI are just going to try and just, you know, get their elbows out. Knock me into falling off the bike there, but out of the final corner up towards start-finish line. This has felt like a pretty good tidy lap. Hopefully we're going to see a 2-minute 11 on the board. Yes, we are. A 2:11.3, and that might immediately be enough to see us through. Oh, down the inside of Rossi. There we go. We'll just kind of move him out. I would assume he's related to Valentino, but I honestly have no idea whatsoever. So if someone can let me know down in the comments below. But we're another 3/10 up then on that first time that I set. We could go into the 2:10s, be the first rider there this weekend. I would be very, very happy. Come on then, one more corner to go. We've got one more rider potentially able to give me a slipstream out of the final turn. So hopefully we're going to be able to find a little bit more time through there. Yes, we are. 8/10 up as we make our way out of the final corner and tucked up in the slipstream of the rider in front of me. It is going to be a mid 2-minute 10, and surely that is enough to see us comfortably through a 2:10.4. Oh no, it's combined results. Oh, that is so stupid. So everyone apparently did like 2-minute 8 in the other session. I had no idea that was to be the case. So where have we ended up then at the end of that session? Last. So that was completely pointless at the end of FP2, and now we've got to do it all again as we head into qualifying. Well, I guess I am still learning with every single race we do so far in this game, but yeah, now I really just want to try and make it through Q1 with no issues whatsoever, so let's try and get down into the 2-minute 10s again. I've got no idea how the AI were able to do 2-minute 8s in the other session, but I would assume it's just a bit of a simulation bug. Why no game seems to be able to simulate AI times if you fast forward through a session, I have no idea. We seem to be able to tuck up behind a little cluster of riders every time as we make our way down towards that final corner. The slipstream, it isn't huge, but it will certainly give you a 10th or two down this front straight here in Qatar as we round our way out of that final corner. See a couple of them side by side there. I think they're teammates that are really tripping over each other to start their lap times, so not ideal for them. What is ideal for us though is this is looking like another decent time. It is a 2:10.2. We are finding pace everywhere. We might have a bit of a problem there. Apparently the 2-minute 8s that the AI were able to do were in fact genuine. So we've ended up last on the grid when I thought that was going to be a really, really competitive time there. 2 seconds off the pace of anybody else. Maybe I've got a little bit too confident in my ability once again on this game. We'll have to see what happens when we move into the race, but that is a disappointment.
Very warm welcome from the Qatar Peninsula. We're at the Lusail International Circuit near the capital city of Doha.
Just a few more moments and we'll switch to the starting straight for the Moto3 class race. Our director takes us to the starting grid where riders are trying to maintain their concentration before the start of the race. The sun has set over the Qatar desert and the sand brought onto the track by the wind will make it difficult for riders to get good grip during the early stages of the race. Temperatures have dropped considerably compared to this afternoon, so many teams have opted for soft tyres.
I've got no idea what the commentator's talking about. The sun certainly has not set. But yeah, we need to try and beat Raider inside the standings before the end of the USGP. We also need to try and finish top 5 in this race. That's going to be difficult, I think, to be completely honest. But we'll stay on the softs. I cannot adjust the AI, so apparently 68 is too slow, 70 is too fast. Take that from whatever you will. But yeah, anyway, let's start this thing on the soft tyres and let's see what we can do.
It's important to have warmed up the tyres or they could have problems on turns 2 and 6. All eyes on the lights now. Everything's ready for the start of the Qatar Grand Prix.
We just want to try and stay out of trouble then in this first race of the season. Maybe we can make up some spots as well. 10 red lights. Let's get these lights out and away we go then. So that's one of my better starts on this game. I am just mashing my foot to the floor every single time and hoping that we don't wheelie. Not that I'm really sure these Moto3 bikes can particularly well, as everyone barrels into turn 1. Someone absolutely got flung off, and someone's already fallen off. I think that was Almeida? I don't really know, and I'm going to get barged over as well. Well, yeah, I'll be honest, if we get taken out at the start of one of these, I'm tempted just to restart, especially as we don't quite know what the pace is like at the moment. Yeah, the AI just seems to be mighty aggressive at the start of these races. So here we go then. Try and make our way back down in towards turn 1 clean and tidy this time. Will we see anyone else get taken out there? Looks like it's actually been a fairly clean, tidy start. A little bit of contact with, I think that's Almeida, I want to say. Still, I'm desperately trying to learn names as best as possible here. But yeah, I kind of want to see, obviously, whether their qualifying pace was actually the pace they've got. Or whether it was just kind of simulated inaccuracies. Trying to look at the inside there. Seems like they're fairly competitive early on, as we're certainly not afraid to bump and bash with a few other riders there. There's 3 of us trying to squeeze to an apex on the inside. We're making good progress early on. Looks like Kel has already picked up a warning, as I don't know who that was, but they almost took us clean out with them there. Absolutely flung it through turn 6, I want to say that is. Still don't really know corner numbers around this venue there, as slicing the dice in our way up the order a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of contact with one of our teammates. I think that is Holgado. Yeah, our big rival is all the way up in P3. That's a bit annoying, but we're not going to fall too far away from the rest of the order, as Alonso there is going to pick up a penalty for track limits. Yeah, if it happens off the start, then I'm kind of going to restart. Once we kind of get most of the way around that one, though, I think anything like that happens, we're just going to have to kind of face the music. And we will combine that with the fact that by the end of lap 1, we've actually gained a little bit of time back on our leaders. It's not much at all, but I think we have certainly got some pace here. We need to try and finish. I reckon if we get some points here, we'll be quite happy. As, yeah, not quite sure what time. Leader must have set about a 2:15. So we'll see, obviously, once the real flying laps start, what our pace is like. But I reckon we can still carve our way through. It's so satisfying when you get a good line down. That means you can try and switch a few AI. Rue, they're getting some penalties as well. So, oh, there's 2 J Rues in this. Why can't they all just pick different names to each other? As we have picked up 1 warning for track limits just through here, where we got the line a little bit wrong. Can we get up the inside of Almeida? No, not quite. We'll go around the outside, though. He's going to send it back in, though, through the next corner. So we'll get nicely underneath him, and we are no longer last in this race. That I'm happy with, probably happier than I should be. But let's see if we can continue trying to make some moves as we go through the penultimate corner of the lap to the outside of one of the other riders. Oh, I've got to be so careful through that final corner. There is a little bit of contact as well. The hand of rage goes up just for a split second. That's clearly been being a little bit aggressive and feisty with some of the others. But yeah, leader's done a 2:10.3. We are going to do a 2:10.6. So we're there or thereabouts in terms of the pace, actually. I think we've actually found a decent AI balance. It just seems like in qualifying it could be a little bit extreme. There's even more contact down at turn 1. Are we about to move ourselves, though, back up inside the top 20? As I think it's, yes, Suzuki, isn't it, that is leading the way at the front. We'll move back up into 20th place there through this next corner. We might be able to get a little bit of a run as well. As Pequera's there just up in front. He's one of the names I can remember because I kept trying to call him PK. Yeah, funnily enough, obviously all the Formula 1 knowledge does hang with you. As down the inside we'll go. We're up to P19. There's a bit of a gap ahead of Pequeras. I think we accidentally gave that guy a warning. I just heard an engine on the inside. I was so scared there we were going to get collected. Oh, come on then. Trying to get a run on Angel Bequeras down in towards the final corner. He's now really brought us back with this next group of riders in front. So try and get on that throttle early at the final corner. We seem to be able to do it. But then we don't really actually gain much on the AI, which is a little bit frustrating. We should definitely have the top end speed though over him, just because of that AI difficulty level. Down the inside we shall go. And yeah, we're setting consistent 2-minute 10s at the moment, which I think is seeing us moving up the order slowly but surely. And hopefully now we might start seeing ourselves into the points. Trying the outside down at turn 1. Oh, apologies. Don't know if we've taken them off entirely, or whether it was just a little bit of, you know, rubbing his racing, which is probably not a good motto to have in motorbikes. Well, I'm so sorry. I knew then if we didn't come off the brake, I was going to fall off, so we might be using other riders to try and help myself out, but we're almost back in the top 15. We can get top 10 here. Yeah, I think a top 10 is doable. Well, even if we don't get a lot else from this race, I would love to try and claim the fastest lap. I don't know whether it gives you a bonus point or anything, but we are still just a couple of tenths away from that time set by Suzuki. Looking down the inside of Holgado and our teammate there down at turn 1. We've got so much speed in a straight line, but I think, yeah, this gaggle of riders takes us up to about P7, as there is Riccardo Rossi once again, so even more opportunity for some clickbait here, but 2 laps to go as we are still slicing and dicing our way through. I feel like, yeah, the top group have certainly still got that little bit of extra pace over us at the moment. But yeah, we can definitely get to the front of this group by the end of this. It's all really sending it up at turn 3 and 4 around Munoz. Can we try and do anything there as we watch Ogden just in front of him? I'm probably getting all these names wrong. I am literally just making them up in my head and hoping that I get some of them right. Around the outside of Munoz, though, off of the corner. So almost back then inside the top 10. So that was way too deep into that hairpin, but we might be able to try and switch on the exit. Around the outside again. We're going to get a bit of a squeeze. I just don't have the confidence through here unless I get the line absolutely nailed, which we have done. We go clean around the outside, but have the inside for the very next corner. We've really sent it in way too aggressively there. This is fantastic racing, though, towards the end of the Qatar GP. Oh, and around the final corner, just one more lap to go then, as we'll try and get around the outside. No, he just blocks me off at that final corner. We're still going to lose a few points to my main championship rival. Let's look at that 3 wide just in front. Everyone fanning out to try and find some space. But we are going to move right down the middle there, 4 wide temporarily, as that was huge speed down in towards the first corner. Unfortunately, there's a 5-second gap up to P5, so I think our other race objective here is probably not going to be possible unless one of them falls off or something happens. Top 5 are actually quite spread out, rather oddly, towards the end of this one. Suzuki certainly looking rapid. His best lap is 4 tenths clearer of mine. Can we work hard on this last one to try and claim it? While rounding our way then in towards the final few corners, you can see that lap time is pretty damn close to the delta set by Suzuki. We just need a good run through the final corner, but it is going to be Suzuki that takes the season opener here from Qatar. A very, very good race by the top rider there, and out of the final corner, are we going to find the time? Yes, we are. We're going to be about half a second up here as we get towards the start-finish line. Will it be enough to try and take that time? You can see the delta's dropping, though, as we make our way towards the line. We are narrowly going to miss out, and it is P6 here at Losail.
As the Moto3 riders do their cool-down lap, let's take a look at the final results of the race we've just seen.
Well, once again, then, it is Suzuki and Furusato that are top of the board there. Ruida up in P3 ahead of David Alonso there. Colin Vaya, our pole sitter, only good enough for P5 in the end, but we were less than half a tenth away from that fastest lap, but we did beat Stefano Neppa at the end of the day there. Having a look further down the order, where did our teammates finish? I believe David Munoz, no, he's not. Daniel Holgado, isn't it? 15th place in the end. As is anyone else on a gas bike, or is it just Holgado? I think it might be. So we'll take that in the end to finish off the first race of the season. Of course, it's going to mean we are 6th place still in the Drivers' Championship, as we take a look at how the point system works as well in MotoGP. And constructors-wise, we are 6th as well there, so 6th everywhere after the opening round of the season. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon with more MotoGP 24 content.